How are cookies made? Well, you need at least 6 ingredients: butter, eggs, sugar, flour, baking soda, and salt. Mix them all together and expose it to really hot temperatures and you get cookies. Though it isn't as simple as that. The end product entirely depends on how much of each ingredient you use, and boy is there a lot of interaction with the ingredients. More butter and sugar can result in a crispier cookie. Having no sugar will give you some sort of biscuit. More flour can result in a cakier cookie. Less flour or no flour will give you some kind of caramel or butterscotch or toffee kind of candy. Adding more baking soda will cause it to expand and potentially taste pretty icky, though not having enough or any baking soda will cause your cookie to shrink in size as it bakes. But how does any of this get to the tasty treat that many love so dearly? Well, after the cookie dough is mixed and put into the oven, the butter starts to melt at around 92 degrees Fahrenheit or 33 degrees Celsius, breaking down into water and fat, causing the cookie dough to loosen up. The fat will add to the flavor of the cookie, while the water will slowly evaporate and turn into steam, causing the cookie dough to expand. If you melt the butter beforehand while mixing your ingredients, you will end up with a much denser cookie, and the water will evaporate much quicker, resulting in a more cracked outside and a crunchy texture. At 144 degrees Fahrenheit or 62 degrees Celsius, the proteins in the eggs will begin to rapidly change structure. They'll act as a binding agent to keep the cookie held together. At temperatures above 176 degrees Fahrenheit or 80 degrees Celsius, the baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, will undergo a decomposition reaction, which means it'll start to break down into 3 compounds: sodium carbonate, water, and carbon dioxide. The sodium carbonate will add flavor to the cookie. The water will provide a moist texture and create another set of air pockets for the cookie dough to expand. The water will get help from the carbon dioxide, creating even more air bubbles within the dough. To prevent the air bubbles from getting too big, the added salt is what prevents the cookie from expanding way too much by slowing down the production of carbon dioxide in the decomposition reaction. At around 280 to 330 degrees Fahrenheit, 140 to 165 degrees Celsius, the Maillard reactions will start to occur. This is basically when the proteins and sugars are broken down and rearranged by the high temperature. These proteins and sugars can be found in the flour as well as the sugar itself and eggs. The reactions produce ring-shaped organic compounds that create the darkened surface of baked dough, aka the appetizing appearance of any browned cooked food: bread, chicken, and of course cookies. The very last reaction to happen is caramelization, which is when sugar starts to break down and adds even more to the darkened appearance of the cookie, while also producing the sweet and nutty aroma/flavor commonly tasted in caramel or caramelized foods, but mostly sweets. And well, that's how a cookie is usually made. The results are numerous and the flavors will always be more or less different in some way, but this, in a nutshell, is how all cookies are made.